Hey there folks, and welcome back to another edition of Mr. Songbird's Writing Mukbang. I hope you've been having a wonderful November. We are now officially halfway through NaNoWriMo. I hope you've made excellent progress here working on it, because only 15 days remain after this one. Now, for today's video, I'll be having some quesadillas, some chips, and some salsa. The last week went quite well. And I saw that some of you were very curious to see the story I wrote from NaNoWriMo last year. I'll go over that shortly as well. But like I said, progress went very well. Not quite as well as I have been previously, but I'm still massively far ahead of my goal. In fact, I'm going to put that in perspective in just a moment. It is the 15th, so to achieve my goal, I should be, and basically be on track to achieve goal, I should be at least 25,000 words in. So far, I'm just a smidge, less than 39,000 in. So in short, I'm over like 13,000 ahead of my current, of what I should be. So I feel very confident saying that by the time you see the next video, I will have finished, my NaNoWriMo goals. I have run into a little bit of burnout, but I think I can make that work. Or at least make it through till the end of the month. I'm definitely liking these quesadillas. I wonder if she put some butter on them, because I can definitely taste like some butteriness. The cheese is nice and gooey. Take a look-see. See how squishy it is. Of course, nacho salad, Doritos is always good. If you're trying to do NaNoWriMo at this point, to be on track, you should be at roughly 25,000. But that said, even if you're not on track yet, that doesn't mean you can't make it. There are people who've gone all the way from 0 to 50,000 words in less than 15 days. Quite a few of them, in fact. I remember a book by the founder of NaNoWriMo, whose name escapes me right now. It's called No Plot, No Problem. And basically what he'd say is one of his, friends would or one of the people who did NaNoWriMo would do nothing, goof off the first 25, 26, 27 days, and then do it all in the final weekend. Now, not gonna lie, that would be extremely challenging, for me too, but it means that even if you're starting late, you can still pull it off. One moment. And as a reminder, some things that help: making sure not to edit. Editing will kill your progress time in NaNoWriMo, because it means you spend more time thinking about the previous words instead of the next words. And you need 50,000 next words to beat NaNoWriMo. Now, for those who've been asking about last year's story, I will warn you, I did not finish the editing for all of it, so I got 40,000 words, written of it. I did end up publishing it under a different pen name. It's actually on a website known as Royal Road, if you're familiar with that, where basically people can, publish serial works for free, kind of thing. It's known as Finding Elysium. I will admit I got part of the title from that one video game, Disco Elysium, which I need to finish. But it's a similar but different concept. Actually, very different. Like Disco Elysium is basically like you inside this very different world, but it's a world that's been as it is for a long time. This is a world that's basically, if you've ever played a role-playing game, it's an RPG mechanic story. I decided I want to try to write one, and I think part of the problem is, simply put, my desires in writing go against the genre. Because most people are reading RPGs, stories, or what's called lit RPG, literary RPG. It's kind of a bit of escapism and wish fulfillment, where face a problem, you level up, you get stronger to overcome the problem with ease. Whereas I like RPGs that are extremely challenging. Like, especially ones like where you can't level up any higher and the difficulty just keeps climbing. That's the stuff I love. Which is great for me, but it's kind of like the antithesis of what's expected of the genre. The story is centered around two siblings who discovered a young girl in the process of basically trying to scavenge her resources, and discover that she has a strange class they've never heard of before. It's basically a story of survival and growth and trying to find Elysium, which I don't want to spoil too much, so I'll just say that it's basically, kind of like, what is, your perfect life? What is, Elysium? Probably making it, I need to work on how to describe things like that. I'm really bad at that. I'll put a link in the description below and in the pinned comment. Would I say it's my best story? I wouldn't say that. But I will say I worked hard on it. And I think I did a pretty good job. But that said, with NaNoWriMo coming to a close for me, the next step for me is going to be focusing on editing, stories. Especially one of the ones I'm definitely editing a lot of is going to be Path of the Magi Book 2. I'd like to get the final edits for basically the second round of edits done by the end of the year. Then there might be some polishing to do, but it should be good to go soon afterward. I'm currently on chapter 15 editing of that story, and there's actually 19 chapters, because it turned out that one of my chapters was so big I had to split it into, it was 9,000 words. So there's no way that could be a single chapter, and every other story in the book was shorter than 6. So for those of you who've been working in NaNoWriMo, I'd love to see your progress. Definitely post in the comment section below how many words you're up to in NaNoWriMo. And remember, even if it's not all the way, even if you're not on track, it's okay. The fact that you're working on it means that you're getting more written. I don't think so at this point. But I'd love to see what you'd be interested in me talking about in the next video. Not next video, because next video is probably the final NaNoWriMo and recap, but the video after that. But for now, I'm going to bid you farewell. Until next time. Bye, folks.